So it turns out there are a lot of people that didn't quite enjoy what I had to say in my last video. Now, I knew there would be people that disagreed with me, but I never thought I would get called a disappointment and sick-minded. I genuinely wasn't going to make a response video because this is the internet. I'm bound to get hate at some point, but these people went too far and I really don't appreciate it. Before I get to my points, I just want to clarify some things that I kept seeing in people's comments. I'm not at all mad about this, but I'm non-binary and I use they, he pronouns. I know it's not very obvious because I have a feminine voice and my persona looks girly, I guess, but yeah. I'm hoping I stay calm making this video, but I can't promise that I won't freak out a little. It's just crazy to me that so many people get mad at me for my opinions. I'll start with the more tame ones and save the topics I'm more passionate about at the end. So let's get started. Like I said in my video, I personally don't find the joke funny. I never said you couldn't enjoy it, and I for sure never said I hate Latinas. Some of you are putting words into my mouth and I don't really like that. I'm literally Latino as well, so I obviously don't hate Latinas. To clarify again, you can find the joke funny and you can enjoy it. I'm allowed to say it's not funny to me. I'm allowed to say I don't like it. I'm allowed to say it's overused. I'm not taking it away from other people that enjoy it. Stop saying I said you can't like it and you can't make jokes. Again, like I said in my video, these games aren't perfect and they could use work in some places. But you have to have an open mind and see that there are tons of people that actually enjoy these games. There are people out there that think the Sonic Boom games are fun. There are people out there that think Sonic Forces is fun, or Sonic Lost World, or literally any of the overhated games. We all have our own preferences and we all think differently. So why are you guys getting mad at me for liking something? Why is it such a crime that I hate a bad game? Why do we all collectively have to think the same? Wouldn't it be so boring if we all said the same thing and we were all super negative? Stop getting mad at me or any other person that says these games are good and fun and that we enjoy them. It's literally not hurting you or any of the games that are enjoyable for you. I know there's no escaping negative people in fandoms, but does the whole fandom have to be like that? Do we all have to bring each other down if we don't like the games from the 2000s? Now, where in my video did I say Sonic is gay? Where in my video did I say Sonetto will be canon and Sanemi doesn't have a chance? Where? That's what I thought. Nowhere. I know that Sonetto isn't canon. I know that it will never be endgame. And I know that Sanemi is more likely. But why can't I have fun and ship them? Why are the only ships that are allowed are the ones that would end up being canon? Why do I have to have restrictions for the perfectly normal ships? And why is it so wrong for me to talk about the LGBTQA+ community? Why do all the ships have to be hetero? Don't you find that boring? No diversity at all, just boy-girl relationships? And to be frank, Sonic the Hedgehog isn't a romance game, it's an adventure game. So why is this such a huge deal? I shouldn't have to be talked down to because I enjoy gay ships over straight ones. I shouldn't have to conform to what the toxic dude bros of this fandom want. This is for my enjoyment and this is my life. I can enjoy whatever kind of media that I want. If I like Sonetto, I should be able to consume media for it without people saying they're rivals or they aren't gay. I understand there are weird people out there that make sexual art of them. I don't like it either. But the best part of the internet is that you can block those people. You can scroll. You can just not interact with it at all. Stop getting mad at me for liking something so minuscule, so harmless, so unimportant to your life. Let me enjoy what I want and leave me alone. Stop calling me sick in the head because I like Sonetto. It's never that serious. It's not pro-gay, it's just something that I enjoy, and if you don't like me for that, then block me. It's absolutely insane all of the hate comments I get for a headcanon. And you know what? Speaking of that, there are people out there that don't know what that is. I saw a TikTok of someone complaining that people headcanon Sonic as trans or any of the gay ships because it's not the correct use of a headcanon. The definition of a headcanon is a fan's personal, unofficial interpretation or belief about aspects of a fictional story, character, or universe that are not part of the official canon. It's essentially the canon that exists only in the fan's head. So obviously we know these things aren't canon, which is why it's a headcanon. I just don't understand what's so hard for some of you guys to see the difference. And I've seen some people get mad at others for calling them homophobic because they don't like the gay ships. Well, if you aren't homophobic, then what is it? Is it because it's not canon? Why should that have to be the reason? It's honestly so frustrating talking about this topic and to the fans that say this. If I had $1 for every time I had to argue that Shadow isn't 50, I'd be rich. I can understand the confusion at first because with surface level information it would seem like Shadow is 50, but that's not true. It isn't very clear how long Shadow was on the ark, but he has the mind and body of a 15 to 17-year-old. He was then put into cryostasis for 50 years. Now, I'm going to give you the definition of cryostasis in sci-fi. That's what we're dealing with here. In science fiction, cryostasis typically refers to a state of suspended animation achieved through cryopreservation, deep freezing, or other means, allowing beings to survive for long periods or even centuries while preventing or slowing down physical or mental degradation. It's a common trope used to explore time travel, space exploration, and the consequences of long-term life extension or revival. And if you're one of those people that think Shadow was still alive enough to age, here's what it's like for someone in cryostasis. Within the context of sci-fi, the person is technically considered to be in a state of suspended animation, neither alive nor dead, but rather in a state of deep freeze. So with all that information, it's very clear that Shadow didn't physically or mentally age in those 50 years. Meaning, he's still mentally and physically 15 to 17. And you know who is usually portrayed with the same age range? That's right, Sonic the Hedgehog. So quit saying the shit between them is weird and or pedophilia. It's not. End of story. I have argued this several times in my last video's comment section. The same thing has happened with many other characters in fiction. One example is Aang from Avatar: The Last Airbender. He was frozen for 100 years, which would technically make him 112 years old, but he obviously didn't mentally or physically age, so it's perfectly okay that he ends up with Katara. So why is that okay but Sonic and Shadow being together is weird? Or how come Sonic and Amy or Shadow and Amy being together is fine, but Sonic and Shadow being together is weird? If it's not homophobia, then what is it? It's pretty hard to defend yourself with all this evidence. All I'm asking is for everyone to calm down and just let people ship whoever they want as long as it isn't a pro ship. And you know what? On the topic of that, I want to clarify that you can have ships like Tails and Cosmo as long as it's not, freaky. These are literal children after all, and I hate that I even have to say that. Save the craziest topic for last because this comment left me speechless. Let me read this gem for you and then I'll make my points. You were so close for the entire video, but you just had to ruin it with some puritanical bullshit. 1. So suddenly shipping Tails and Cream or Tails and Cosmo is bad? At least with the way you worded it. Maybe I understand the sentiment with things like Sonic and Tails or Tails and Rouge. They're kinda ew for me too. But you have to remember these are all fictional characters. No one's making kids kiss teens or adults IRL just from that. Also, if you're still uncomfy with the idea, there's this magical little thing called scrolling away. At least with me it helps a ton. 2. I know this argument shouldn't start and end with, they are fictional characters. It's not as big of a deal as you make it to be. But I have to let you know that, if memory serves right, Shiro Maekawa, I hope I said that right, the original writer for SA2, has stated Shadow and Maria's original dynamic was based on romance media. Unfortunately, I don't remember exactly that media it was, but it's true. You're conflating them with their localized selves, and in Sonic 3, in which they kinda have a sibling dynamic of sorts. He's also been seen retweeting Shadow and Maria fan art, so there's that. What's worse is that I agree with you on practically everything else. You are a disappointment to this fandom. Wow. Just wow. Where did I even start with this one? First of all, puritanical bullshit, because I don't like ships with minors and adults. Now I did word it weird where I said no child character should be shipped with anyone, but like I said in this video, that's totally fine. But them saying they only kind of find Sonel's gross? Hello? And then they make the point They're just fictional characters. No one is doing this IRL. That shouldn't be the reason this is okay. Someone responded to their comment, and I think they sum it up pretty well. While fiction is made up, it has connection with real life. In the end, everyone in a fictional story has human personality. They may be fictional characters, but they represent real conscious beings, just like ones in real life. So if you ship Tails and Cream together, you're representing your infatuation with wanting two children to be together, which in my opinion is weird. You might not think that fiction affects reality, but it does. As for Shadow and Maria's dynamic being based on a romance story, I honestly couldn't care less. It doesn't matter that they were based off a romance story, when 1, that's literally a human and animal being paired together, and 2, it makes so much more sense that they have a sibling dynamic. I don't care that it's the localized version, it's the one that isn't weird. Also, calling me a disappointment to the fandom because you're the weird one is crazy. I'm nowhere near that level. All I did was share my opinions about Sonic, but because my ideas don't align with yours, I'm the problem? If you still disagree with what I've said, then you probably shouldn't be here. I'm not going to sit here and take the disrespect all because of my opinions. The people hating are proving my point that having my own differing opinion is the end of the world, when it really isn't. I shouldn't have to hide what I truly think because I'm afraid that people will disagree and say hurtful things. I'm the least of your problems because there are people out there doing way worse things than me. I appreciate all the nice comments I got on my last video. I'm so glad I was able to be a voice to the people that also agree with the things I said. I don't know where I'd be without you guys, and you mean everything to me. And to the rest of the people that complained and or disrespected me in my comments, just know that everything you said to me didn't even come close to hurting my feelings. Clearly, I'm the bigger person here, not you. And I'll be honest, some of your guys' hate comments actually made me laugh out loud because they were so outrageous. I swear my next video will be about the Sonic movies. I'll stop edging you with that. In that video, I'm going to give a brief summary of the 3 movies, including the Knuckles series, and then talk about them and my opinions and views on them. I hope to see you guys there, and I'll see you in a few.